You and these treadmills lately, I just don't know. Just when you think you know a guy.
Running with Maverick and Wolfman. Maverick here.
Wolfman here. Don't forget to find us on Facebook, Instagram, X, and the big one, YouTube. When you find us on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, and more importantly, give us a thumbs up, and tell your friends to give us thumbs up too.
Lots of thumbs.
Tons of thumbs. Today we're going to give you the tips that are going to help you complete and possibly run your fastest 5K to date. I won't say ever.
Sounds great. Looking forward to it.
All right. So
are these physical therapy tips or runner tips?
These are just runner tips. These are runner tips.
All right. Let's hear it. What do you got first?
All right. So I know you don't do this, but I think logging it when you log things.
Here we go.
I think when you log things, it helps you see, especially a beginner runner, right? Some of our listeners have not run a 5K. So I think as a beginning runner, or if you're new to it, logging it is very important. You haven't yet learned how your body works and how it trains. So I think it's important to log it. You can be as detailed or not as you want. Especially with these new smartwatches, they all automatically load to Garmin Connect or Strava. You know, everybody's wonderful Strava. There's other ones. You can get an old-fashioned logbook. I have athletes that just use notebooks. I use runningahead.com. I think that one's pretty fantastic. I think it's easier to see what you've done, what has worked, maybe what hasn't worked, and then you can replicate it. And you might surprise yourself.
It's true. You're right. I mean, it's a good idea, especially if you don't have experience and aren't sure about what you're doing. So logging it would be very beneficial. Agreed. I concur.
Your tip.
My tip is to... Okay, so if you're running a 5K, do not go out fast. Like if you're new to 5Ks, you should go out slow. Like where you think you're actually running too slow, slower than your pace. There's nothing wrong with it. You have a lot of time to make it up. If you're not a really elite runner, it's fine. Just go out slower. You'll make it up later. It's like a warm-up. So slow start is my tip.
That is a good tip. I tell my athletes that you're going to hit that discomfort. Wouldn't it be better to hit it at 2.5 miles and only have a half mile to go than a mile and have 2 miles to go?
Right, and you'll see that if you watch a 5K, right, you can go to any 5K pretty much anywhere, and if you watch right around the mile mark, you'll see these people that come through that look super strong, like they're just getting started, and then you'll see people that look like they wish they never signed up. You don't want to be the second person.
Correct. Oh, that's
We've all done it. We've all been there. We've all run a fast mile.
We've all done it. You are absolutely right. Some of us still do it from time to time.
Why not?
Gotta have fun sometime, right? Good.
There also remember this. There are those people that go there, they run the first mile, and then they step off
Yeah,
into the crowd, and that sometimes will really mess with you psychologically because if you're running the whole thing and you're running with someone thinking that you need to keep up with them, and you just burn the first mile, ooh, it's rough.
yeah, yeah. That that happens in marathons too. If you're at a start where it starts as the same as the half or a relay, uh, I was going in a relay one time at the start, so I was cooking. Some guys running next to me. He's like, "Man, this is a fast pace." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm doing the relay." "Oh no," he says.
That's funny.
But
Yeah, he's like super disappointed.
oh yeah, yeah, because the first leg was only like 7 miles or something like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
all right, that's tip number 2, if you're counting. All right, the next one I think is a big one, and it probably should have been our first tip. Have a plan, right? Have a plan. Um, I recommend signing up for one first, and then that's step one of the plan, and then step two is how are you going to complete it. Um, there's lots of apps you can get plans on. You could find a coach if you wanted to. You can get different books. I'm a big Daniels guy, Daniels running formula, but there's lots of others. Brad Hudson's Run Faster, 5K Training for Beginners by Holmes, Galloway's Book of Running by the one and only Jeff Galloway, Couch to 5K. I don't know if they have a book, but they've got all kinds of coaching things.
Catch the five
Um,
kids everywhere.
yeah, if you just get on Amazon and search, a whole bunch will pop up. Some of the ones I mentioned, and probably dozens of others. But
Do you have a
have a
Florida
plan.
5K?
Florida 5K. I didn't see that one, nor have I ever heard of it. But there's like 20 pages of books. But have a plan. Have a plan, and be flexible with your plan. Things happen.
Planet Fitness.
I'd say the tagline, but we probably can't.
So yeah, you have a plan, people. Let's do that. Have a plan.
I like it. That's tip number 3.
Okay. Tip number 4 would be learn how to pace. Racing is all about learning how to pace. If you understand where you can be, how you can move in the race, when you need to get faster, slower, conserve, push, if you know what paces you're at, you'll know how to do that kind of stuff. And it takes a while to learn pace. So, my advice, if you have a group or an experienced runner that you run with, they'll be very good at it. And you can learn from them. If you run by yourself, I hate to say it, but a treadmill will teach you how to pace yourself because you just set it and your muscle memory takes over. Wolfman doesn't like it, but it's so true. Muscle memory, learn from the treadmill, you'll understand pace.
You and these treadmills lately, I just don't know. Just when you think you know a guy, you know. But
I didn't say I
Maverick,
love them.
but Maverick, how do I know how to run fast? How do I learn this?
Basically, the when you're hitting, like we've talked about cadence before, we've talked about paces before. There's a lot of that goes together. So when you hit, let's just say 6 minute per mile pace, there's a certain way your body's going to hit the ground, the treadmill, when you're doing that. Your knees are going to come up to a certain distance. You have a certain repetition in the cadence that is pretty much where you kind of live, right? So you're going to be hitting a certain way. You're going to get used to that. Your body's going to get used to that. And there's this thing called muscle memory, which is this awesome thing, which is just like how you would learn how to throw a baseball and then throw it again, how to throw a curveball, how to shoot a basketball, how to swing a tennis racket, the forehand. All that stuff is muscle memory. Your body gets used to it and trained, and then it brings it back. It's the same thing with the paces. You're going to learn how to do that, what that feels like, and you're going to kind of go into that. But it takes time. So once again, learning how to do it is repetitious. You need to find someone to help you, or a group, or a treadmill. It's just A track is nice too. If you don't have a treadmill or you don't want to do a treadmill, get to a track, run around the big loop, and time yourself, and then you can figure it out. It's very simple that way. Get slower, get faster, try to hit the times that you're trying to go for. Very easy that way. I love the track for that.
Yes, I think that is a good tip. And you would find those paces in your plan.
Couch to five.
Well, I don't know if they go into pace, but anyway. So the next one, you talked a little bit about cadence. So I think the next big thing to incorporate into your 5K training and plan is form. You need to work on your form, right? Everybody thinks you just step out there and put one leg in front of the other, and that's part of it. But efficiency is key, especially with long distance running. Go back and check out our episode with our good friend John Martino. He gets into it a little bit. Um, it's very repetitive, so if you can be efficient and strong, that's good. Um, you'll help fix some imbalances, and that'll help you prevent some injury. You want to find some drills and work on that muscle memory, like Maverick's been talking about.
And
I
make
don't
sure that
know
you're
what.
getting make sure you're getting
Oh
your
yeah, yeah.
drills from a credible
Yes,
source. If you meet Jimbo and have lunch with Jimbo 3 days a week, and Jimbo's never really run anything, but he tells you to do some crazy drills, they might not be that good.
exactly.
No offense, Jimmy boy.
Yeah, Jimbo, and that's exactly the next part of that is find good drills.
Right.
Med for Mortals, I think, is a great book, and he's got a ton of drills in there. You could find some of these coaches on YouTube. You can search Meb running drills, and he'll come up teaching them and things like that. Um, you could find a PT that could look at how you're running and give you some drills and some that are specific to you.
Uh, Experienced
That's
runners too.
beneficial. Or yes, experienced runners. If you go to the start of a race, you'll see 100 people doing 100 different drills. Now, I'm not saying that they all know what they're doing, but some of them might, especially if they win.
Right, right. So do some research. Do some
Yeah,
research. Try to figure out what's good. And obviously, if you see a a YouTube channel with a runner who's actually experienced that does like a running channel like we do,
yeah,
basically, they're not going to put on fake drills. They're going to have legit drills, and you can compare and say this makes sense, it doesn't make sense. I like this, I don't like this. You don't have to do all of them. That's the beauty of it
right.
too. But if you see some goofy stuff at the race, don't do it. Even if it's a Disney race, if it's goofy,
Yeah,
don't do it.
yeah. Do the doping instead. It's
Do
longer.
dope instead of it's much longer.
No, yeah. You want to find credible drills. And I tell my athletes too, if you had 6 coaches, they all have their 6 drills that they like. You don't have to do all of them. There's no magic one drill. A lot of them overlap, but you'll see different drills from different coaches, and you can, you know, what do they call that? Aggregate it. Maybe you like these ones. Use those.
Uh,
Making concrete.
Life is cumulative.
Oh, that was 5.
Okay. Are we stopping at 5?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of channels would because everybody, oh, the 5 best, but there's 2 of us. We could give you a bonus one and have 6.
Um, this is just a little extra piece here. Okay, if you're running
Bonus tip.
a little bonus here, if you're running a race and you don't know what you're doing, right? When you start running and you're running slow, like we talked about, and there's a person running slow, just about your pace, run with that person for a while. And then, if they seem too slow, move up to someone who's a little quicker. If they're too fast, drop back to someone else, but run with somebody. Don't run by yourself in the 5K. It's a miserable time. I've done it. It doesn't feel good at all. It's very, very tough on you when you're running by yourself that fast. So Try to find somebody who seems to know what they're doing, that's running a pretty consistent pace. Go with them for a while, and then you can move in and shift later on. That's just a little bonus.
Yeah, a little bonus tip for you. And yeah, talk to people, find somebody. Somebody's probably running their first 5K as well, probably looking to run a similar time, and might want a friend as well.
Yeah, and don't listen to anything they say. Just kidding.
Yeah, don't listen to anything they say the day of the race. Wait till after.
The two of you should talk, but not listen to each other. Just kidding. No, I'm kidding. Sometimes people are very knowledgeable even when they aren't experienced. There's a difference there too.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there's some credibility sometimes in that.
that was
But
good.
those are your tips and your bonus tip for the 5K.
Awesome. 5 tips for the 5K, and then 1 for the .1.
All right, hit the like so Wolfman can relax. Thanks. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the show. As always, Maverick and Wolfman running out.